Hiya, guys, gals, and gamers. I'm back, and I thought I've done a couple of videos about Nintendo Switch Online, like games they could add and stuff. Like, so specifically, we're talking about the little NES SNES streaming service type thing, and there have been rumors and speculation of a possible third console being added before the end of the year. Like I said, this is just speculation and rumors and stuff, but if I had to guess, I'm assuming it would probably either be um, Game Boy Advance or N64. I'm personally kind of hoping for a Game Boy Advance, but that being said, let's get into the current way things are, where it's just NES and Super Nintendo. So I thought, well, I don't know if they'll ever be able to add licensed games. It would be great if they did, but if obviously they got to go through all kinds of licensing fees and stuff. Like, they got to go through the third-party developer and then whoever owns that franchise and stuff. But if hell freezes over and we're able to get licensed games on there, these are a couple of ones that I would like to see happen. First, it's Tiny Toon Adventures, which I have the box, but not the instructions, random as hell. But this was, I remember I had this since I was a kid. Based off one of my favorite cartoon series of all time. I still enjoy watching it, but it's a great little platformer. It has kind of a Super Mario Brothers feel to it. You play as Buster, and you navigate through six areas, each of which consists of 3 levels, and then the 3rd level ending in a boss battle. And at the start of each area, you pick a partner. It's Furball, Plucky, and Dizzy. Each one has a special ability. Furball can grab onto walls, kind of like in Mega Man X. Dizzy can do a spin to go through break through certain walls, and Plucky can fly or hover and is a much better swimmer. But however, you have to you can switch between the partners, but you have to find like a special item in each level. It's kind of hard to explain. So next, the Ninja Turtles games. Now, even the first one, which is kind of more like, some people like it, some people hate it. As I mentioned in my last video, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's kind of more of like an action platformer type of game, but whatever. And there's the second one, which is, and actually, come to think of it, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive I remember seeing this on the Wii Virtual Console at one point. But on to the second one, which is a port of the arcade game, your classic beat-em-up. And finally, the third one, the Manhattan Project, which I think is very underrated. I feel like it tends to be overlooked, and that's unfortunate because it's a great game. It's got a lot of characters in it, from Bebop and Rocksteady, of course. There's Slash. What the hell's his name? Ground Chuck, that mole guy. I forget his name. My brother used to have the toy of him. Now let's get into the Disney territory. First, it's Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, based off the classic cartoon series. This game, it has kind of like a Super Mario Brothers 2 feel to it. Like, you pick up items and throw them at enemies and stuff. It's a lot of fun to play. It's got a great soundtrack, and it's actually 2-player co-op as well. Now, the next one, The Little Mermaid. If you'd ever played this game, you're probably thinking like, oh, a pretty print theft game, but no, it's actually the gameplay is very similar to Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. It's almost like an underwater Super Mario Brothers 2 game. It would be one way to describe it, because you shoot bubbles at enemies and trap them in the bubbles and then throw them into each other and bosses and stuff. It's actually a very good game. I played this all the time when I was a kid. It's fairly easy to play, too. It's like a pretty easy pick-up-and-play type of game, so... But it's a lot better than you'd think if you never played it. Then we have Batman, based off the 1989 Tim Burton movie. It's kind of like Ninja Gaiden. The music is awesome. It's not hard. It's, like, challenging, but it's not, like, impossible. And it's a great, yeah, good game. The last one is actually a reproduction card, because the real thing is expensive. Bucky O'Hare. Now, I personally think this is the best licensed game ever made. Based off the short-lived cartoon series, which is based off a comic book line. And it's almost like a cross between Mega Man and Little Samson. You play as Bucky, and you pick between 4 different planets where your comrades, one of your comrades is each like trapped on a different planet, so you have to pick one and then like save them. You can do them in whatever order you want. Once you save them, you can play as them and switch between them for the levels. Each one has special abilities. Again, the music in this game is amazing. It's a very challenging game, but it's a very fun game too. So now we're moving on to Super Nintendo. Well, let's get the obvious one out of the way first. Turtles in Time. Now this, I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me on this. I think this is the best Ninja Turtles game ever made, and I've played a lot of them, including ones that have been released in the past decade or so. But there's just something about Turtles in Time, and like the gameplay is solid, the controls are solid, the cartridge is solid. Well, technically it's hollow, but the music is just so catchy and stuff, and it's just such a great game. Next we have another beat 'em up, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which great little beat 'em up. It's kind of easy and short, but unfortunately it's only for one player, but still it's a great game. Another reproduction card because the real thing is expensive. Swat Cats, based off the Hanna-Barbera cartoon series. Now this is a great action platformer. It's very hard though. You can pick between the stages, whichever one you want to do first. Like there's Dr. Viper, the Pastmaster, Mad Cat, and the Metallicats, which also happens to be some of my favorite villains. But the only thing is your attack is kind of weak. I mean, it's you have like you shoot out like a little missile projectile, but it shoots like literally like 2 inches in front of you. But and there's also some rail shooter stages, which is cool but kind of weird because it keeps spinning. Like it doesn't really make you dizzy. It's just kind of I don't know. So it gets a little, yeah. And then we have another Batman game, Batman Returns. Was it 91 or 92? But anyway, the sequel, Tim Burton movie, and again, this is another beat 'em up, obviously for one player, and it's a great beat 'em up. The music is very good to this game. I remember my brother had it on because he used to record like music from Super Nintendo games on a tape recorder. It's funny how you think about how far technology has come, but I remember he had the soundtrack of this on a cassette tape. And the gameplay is really cool because you can, like, Batman has a variety of different weapons and attacks and stuff. Like, he can take 2 enemies and slam them into each other. You can throw them into a background. Like, if there's a bench in the back, you can throw them into that. If there's an open window, like one of those city street type of things where you have, like, the open glass where people do, like, window shopping. You can throw them into stuff like that. But awesome beat-em-up game based off the movie. Another beat 'em up. Can you tell I love beat 'em ups? Anyways, it's X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. I always forget the name. Well, I could have just read the top, but anyway. Again, you have stages that you pick between, and you pick between these stages. There's one character for each stage. There's Wolverine, Psylocke, Gambit, Beast, and who the hell was the other one? Oh, Cyclops, of course. Each character has their own unique abilities. This is probably one of the best retro X-Men games ever made. One of, not the, but one of. And it's a very hard game, but you get better at it the more you play it. I can easily beat Gambit, Wolverine stages. Some of the others I kind of have trouble with. Now, this is kind of an overlooked platformer. It's Real Monsters, based off the cartoon series. It's a very unique platformer. Like I said, it kind of tends to be overlooked, which is unfortunate because it's a great game. You play as all 3 of the monsters, Oblina, Crumb, and Ickis, and you actually can switch between them, because you play as all 3 of them, and you like it's almost like Lost Vikings in a way. Kind of has like a Lost Vikings vibe to it, and each one has like unique abilities, and they can do like team moves and stuff. I think you throw bones as a projectile or something, but like I said, it's a good game. Another one that I do have, but I don't have it on me. I must have forgotten to bring it up. As another Tiny Toon Adventures game is Tiny Toons Adventures Buster Bust Loose, which it's a good platformer. It almost because it's not like the NES one where you just jump on enemies. In this one, you have kind of like a kick flip type of move, and then you also have a dash meter. It almost has like a Sonic the Hedgehog feel to it, but it's a great little very easy to play, but still a fun game. But last, the Star Wars games, because who doesn't love Star Wars? Some people don't, but that's beside the point. So, or specifically the Super Star Wars games. I only have the first one, and then Return of the Jedi I have on my SNES Classic Edition, but that's beside the point. But all these Super Star Wars games are great. They're basically action platformers. You can play as a variety of characters throughout them. There's also driving stages, although technically it's not driving. Their vehicles kind of more hover, and there's like flying stages. But what more can I say? The Star Wars games are great. But those are just some of my personal choices if they can add licensed games to Nintendo Switch Online. If that's possible, what are some games you'd like to see be added to it? Let me know in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, next week, because it's Halloween, is going to be on a Saturday, but I'm probably going to upload something on Thursday, and I usually do something different for like Halloween, if you will, like it's something that's not really gaming related, so it'll be something more nostalgic. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. If not, whatever. But anyways, thanks for watching.